Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to be here. We're going to have a great time. Go ahead and have a seat. This course is called First Steps. Those of you here in the room are being able to see this in person, but most people around the world are going to be watching this at home. They're going to be watching this on their phone. They're going to be watching this on their tablet, on their computer, maybe watching this with their team. And what I want to do as we start this course is, first of all, congratulate you. Congratulations on making the decision. Congratulations on not only making the decision to get involved with network marketing, which it's not perfect, but it's better. If you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, it's better. And also congratulations for taking the step to get this course. There are millions of people who join our business every single year. Some decide to invest in their education and some don't. You're different. You've already, it takes so little to separate yourself from the crowd. It takes almost nothing to separate yourself from the crowd, but you do need to take a step. You can sit back and wait for success to happen to you, or you can step in and be part of the success that you deserve in your business. So this step, whether you've taken it or the company's taken it for you and delivered this to you, whatever that is, just know that this is a big deal. And the few hours that we can spend together, what I want to do is I want to share with you what I wish somebody would have shared with me. Because when you get involved, it's this strange thing. When you first get involved in network marketing, it's like you're in a fog a little bit. You know, you're just kind of wandering around. You can't see your hand in front of your face. It's the fog's so thick. You know, and then everybody's telling you to run. Run. I don't want to run. There might be a cliff like 3 steps in front of me. I'm not running. I'll walk, thank you. Take 1 step, try the product. Okay. Fog lifts a little, take another step. Go to an event. Oh, fog lifts quite a bit. And you start to get a vision for your future. You start to see that success might be possible for you. Might be. There's this strange thing. I know when most of you made the decision to get involved in network marketing. I know it. Here's when you made the decision. Somebody presented something to you. Now, not just as a customer. I'm talking about it as a distributor, right? Somebody presented this to you. And you started to think, oh, I think I know somebody else that might want to do this too. My sister, she'd be amazing. That crazy person at the office that's always selling stuff in the break room, they'd be unbelievable. I've got a friend who does stuff like this. That'd be once that candidate list, think back when you were watching that presentation and you were imagining, could this be for me? I think if you're honest, and I think if you really recreate that moment, what you're going to see is once that candidate list of other people that might do this gets long enough, then your decision got easier. Once you were able to say, well, if I could get those people going, maybe it would reduce my risk. If I could kick the snowball off the top of the mountain, see what happens. Maybe I could do a little bit less and I could get a little bit more. Maybe I could just be in the right place at the right time. Like I've heard about these other people were in the right place at the right time and they took action. If I just take a little action, maybe I could just get these people going and I could just go to the beach. Right? And your sponsor probably didn't discourage that thought. Your sponsor probably said, oh, it's easy. It's easy. Piece of cake. Is it easy? Yes or no? No, it's not easy, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's going to be work, of course. It's not magic beans, and we're going to talk about that, setting proper expectations. We're going to do all that. But as we start here, let me just give you a way to get the most out of this course. As you're watching this course, here's how to get the most out of it. What I would encourage you to do, first time through, just watch it and listen to it and don't get stuck in the weeds. Just absorb it one time through, okay? Let it just fall on you one time through. Put the notes down for a second, one time through. Then the second time through, then start to make some notes, right? You don't learn something when you remember it. You learn something when you can't forget it. So our objective here is to get you to the point where you own this, where you got it, where it's solid for you, okay? That's our goal, is get you to that point where this becomes part of you. And you have a clear roadmap. You have a clear game plan in order to be able to do what you need to do. How many are ready to have a clear game plan for your business? Yeah? So repetition is the mother of skill. Repetition is the mother of skill. I listened to my first training course. My first training course was, the very first one was a bootlegged audio cassette from Jim Rohn, who spoke at a Shaklee convention 1,000,000 years ago, called The Seed and the Sower. And he did this talk, and I listened to this thing, and it totally transformed me. But I didn't get the value from listening to it once. I got the value from listening to it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until I could do the talk myself. I got his first course, Challenge to Succeed. This 3-hour course that absolutely revolutionized my thinking. But it wasn't the one time that I listened to it that changed my life. I listened to it 100 times. I listened to it when other people weren't listening. They listened once, they thought they got it. Oh yeah, I heard that course. I'm sorry, that's the problem sometimes with books. Sometimes we finish the book and we go, oh, I read it. I got it. And you're not done yet. Now, it might be harder to absorb the second time in a book, but in an audio program or in a video program like this, make this the background music of your life for a while. Put this on while you're working on something else, and at least be listening to it while you're writing something else, while you're surfing through your social media, while you're doing whatever you're doing. Get the audio pieces of this in your phone when you're working out, when you're mowing the lawn, when you're doing the laundry, when you're doing whatever the tasks of your life are. That's how you get the value out of this, okay? So you're going to get value, number one, from just enjoy it. Number two, take the notes, turn it into a plan. And then number three, you know how you really get the most value? Take the plan that you've created from the notes of this course and teach it to somebody else. That's when you really internalize the information, is when you're able to teach it to another person. So let me tell you a little bit of my story, okay? Some people say I'm pretty successful in this network marketing business. I've done well. I'm not the best network marketer in the world. There's people in this auditorium that are more successful than me, more skilled than me, they've earned more money than I did over the course of my career. But I do believe I've developed a knack for taking what works, what people have been able to do that succeeds, and combining it, distilling it down into a way that other people can understand, okay? And that's what I'm going to try and do here for you today. But when I first started, I was 22 years old, and I was scared. I don't know if any of you ever been scared. Anybody? I was scared to death. Like, what's going to happen in my life? I barely got out of high school. I barely escaped high school. Formal education just did not fit how my mind worked. I couldn't learn in 20-minute increments. It was really difficult for me. If they gave me 3 months of mathematics, and then 3 months of history, and then 3 months of science, and then 3 months of language in English or whatever. Then I would have no problem. But 20 minutes at a time, my brain could not engage in that. So I barely escaped high school. There's some negotiating going on at the end of my high school education. Like, do we want to keep him? Should we let him go? Let the world deal with him? Fine. I barely got out of high school. C- average. I have a 1.8 GPA for high school. Not my proudest moment. I applied to college. How do you think that went? Not too well. All my friends went off to college. I went to community college for a minute. I majored in General Hospital. Anybody remember? Anybody remember General Hospital? Luke and Laura, come on. It was a big time back then. I just watched Luke and Laura in the community center, every day, hanging out. Started with 16 credits. Found out you could drop classes. They didn't care. This was community college, by the way, and ended up with 8 credits. I have a 2.0 GPA. I have no plans of finishing my degree. Not that I don't think education is important. I do think education is important. I would just tell you at that moment in my life, for whatever reason, I was not prepared or equipped to be able to engage in that form of education. I believe formal education, as Jim Rohn will tell you, will make you a living. Self-education makes you a fortune. Thank God. Self-education showed up, and I had a vehicle to be able to improve my life, right? So I started off, where do you go? Where do you go if you're a young man, 22 years old, no college experience, no trade skill? Where do you go in order to be able to earn a living? You start at the bottom. You work in food service. You work in hard labor. You work in doing stuff other people don't want to do. That's where you start. That's where I started. I had 18 jobs by the time I was 22 years old. For real. That's not a joke. That actually really happened. I did everything you can do for minimum wage. Everything possible, I think. Bagged groceries. I sold peanuts at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. Peanuts, get your peanuts. Got fired. How does that happen? Hard to do. Did everything you can do in a restaurant. Waited tables, served, cooked, bussed, hosted. Everything you can do in a restaurant. High-class establishments like Denny's. Grand Slam breakfast. So I did all of that stuff. I did manual labor, roofed houses, painted houses. Anybody ever roof a house in your life? Anybody still doing it? No, because you're going to die. Give it some time. Roofing life plus time equals death. You're going off. I almost died like 3 times by the time I was, after a year and a half, decided the minimum wage might not be worth it. I was like... So last job I had prior to getting involved in network marketing was to sell real estate. Anybody ever sold real estate? Okay. Selling real estate. And the only reason I did that is because my father and his partner started this little real estate business, and they needed somebody to get a license in order to be able to show the homes that they owned. And I'm doing nothing. So I get on, I go get my license, and I start showing those homes. This is 1987. And in 1987, I made, guess how much I made that year? $45,000. Not too bad, right? Was it because of my hustle and skill? Nope. They had a whole bunch of homes, and somebody had to show them. That's the only reason, I swear to you. $45,000 a year. Amazing. How much of that you think I spent? All of it. Plus a little bit. I only spent $60,000 that year with my $45,000 income. So now I've got some debt. Now I've got some issues, right? And I didn't save any money for taxes. I didn't know. You get the money, you spend the money. Get the money. They should not give you, you know what? They shouldn't give you the money if it's not yours to spend. I blame them. So this was January 1988. I need money like oxygen. I've started this little family. Some people get involved in network marketing out of inspiration, and some people get involved out of desperation. I admire those inspiration people, but I wasn't one of them at the beginning. And it's okay. If you're getting involved in this business, it's okay. If you're getting involved because you need money, it's all right. It's not, you don't lack nobility because you need to be able to come in here and make a living. It's okay. That's where I started, desperation. I needed money like oxygen. I needed it right now. This was January 1988. I had a tax bill coming up in April. I didn't know what I was going to do about it. Didn't even know about the word extension yet. So when John Joyce, my dad's partner, came to me one day in our little real estate office, and he said, I think I have a way for us to make some extra money. We're going to go to a friend's house and check it out. We're going to have lunch. I'm like, I'm in, especially with free lunch. I am in. This is awesome. So we got in the car. We drove to this guy's house. His name was Charlie. Charlie was a successful guy. He had this Arabian horse ranch, very successful. John was a successful guy. And, you know, these guys have some money, and they're taking a look at this thing. So remember the first time somebody showed you network marketing? Remember? Those of you at home, remember? When the first time you saw it, and I don't know what happened for you. It was a combination of things. It could be, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I got to get away from this. Or maybe there's something here for me, possibilities, right? I was in the first group. They put in this VHS cassette. Remember VHS cassettes? Anybody? Anybody still have any? Got your collection? Thought you were beating the system? Every time a movie came on, you went and recorded it, put it in the library. So they put this VHS cassette in. It had been dubbed over 100 times, and this crazy, ridiculous, outrageous video comes on. And all of these people going across the stage made $1 million in 15 seconds, you know? Product sells itself. Easiest thing I ever done. My first 30 days I earned this. My first year I did this. I was in a trailer park on the end of the road. You've seen this video. And I'm like, come on. I need to make some money, right? I don't know. All you got to do is snap your fingers, magic dust comes out, and everybody joins. You build this huge business. I don't know if that's going to... Anybody ever see the movie the TV show Shark Tank? Shark Tank, you ever see that? That entrepreneur, they evaluate entrepreneurial ideas. So I did a Shark Tank on them. I'm sitting there watching the video. The video finishes. Our host turns it off and says, so, what do you think? They turn to me, and I'm like, gentlemen, thank you for inviting me over for lunch and showing me this video, but based upon what I've seen so far, I'm out, right? So, now, mind you, I'm broke. They have money, I'm broke. And I'm so smart. So I just say, yeah, this isn't for me. So they did me a huge favor. What they ended up doing is they said, that's okay, Eric, you can wait till we're done. We're probably going to do it anyway. Now I got a problem. All these people that I thought might not be positive to this thing, they're looking like they're positive. Well, maybe I didn't see something, right? Or what happens if they do it and I don't in the same office and they succeed and I don't? That would really hurt. I'd have to watch it every day. Third thing that goes through my mind is, well, maybe I can ride off their skirt tails a little bit. They're successful. If I hang around them, maybe I can be successful. If I do what they do, maybe I can be successful. Big problem. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money to start. Some of you watching this might have had this as an issue. Some of you might have taken the absolute lowest, easiest way to get into your business because you didn't have the money. I will tell you, it's never about the money. It's about your resourcefulness. And here was the extent of my resourcefulness at the time. Hey, Dad, can you loan me a few dollars so I can get started? What do you think? One more time. I know it's been a lot. I know I owe you money already. I know. And he said, okay. So I signed up. Just like you. I signed up. I'm ready to go. And now, what did I do? I did what most people do. They said, hey, wait till you get a little bit of training before you go out there and tell the world. I said, training? That sounds like school. I don't need no stinking training. So I ran out to all my broke and negative friends and family and said, this is going to be amazing. And they said, enjoy it. All my broke friends, they just wanted to get enough money to get to the weekend. That's all I was interested in doing, is getting enough money to the weekend. They were just trying to do the same thing, get to the weekend. They didn't have any money. Credit cards, they didn't have credit cards. You have to have credit to have a credit card. This is before debit cards, the magical thing for broke people. So I went to them. They said, no. Went to my family. You're probably going to do this, right? They said, kid, you have 18 jobs. You being involved hurts this company. So I had this idea. My mom's here in the crowd. There's my mom. Say hi to my mom. So my mom and dad were my upline, right? So here's what I did. They were successful, I wasn't. They knew a lot of people, I didn't. So I went over to their house. I stole my mom's address book. And I quickly called all of their friends before they had a chance to call them. My entire strategy. They were my upline anyway. You know, so I called their friends and I said, hey, you should meet with my mom and dad and take a look at this opportunity. That was all I did. That was my entire strategy. And guess what? It worked. It worked. I signed up a couple. A couple people joined. I'm like, oh my God. I got my first check. You remember your first check? Oh. It went from being a unicorn, this mythical business, to something real. You quickly go to the bank, see if it cashes. Is this one of those switch your, AT&T bill to Verizon type of a check, or is it really a check? So I cashed my first check. It was a pretty good first check. Second month, I had a little confidence. I had a little success. Back then, we were showing checks around. Don't do that now. I had a little success. I went to some people. Come on, let's go. My second month, bigger. Double my first month. Oh my gosh. I quit my job immediately. Walked away from real estate, gave away my listings. And I said, you know what? My first 2 months made some money. Guess how much of you think I spent? How much? All of it. Plus a little bit. You laugh like you haven't done the same thing. You've done the same thing, I know. Yeah, oh no, you save your network marketing money. I know you do not. We're the kings and queens of justification. We can justify anything. I need this new suit because it'll help me recruit. So, my third month, I got to tell you, I was going off pure adrenaline. Just pure adrenaline, no skill, pure adrenaline. And my third month, I learned one of the most valuable lessons of my life. And the valuable lesson was this. In business and in network marketing, you only get to earn what you are as a person. You only get to make what you are as a person. And you might be in the right place at the right time. You that's joined at home, you might be in the right place at the right time with the great company and amazing products. Everybody loves it. But so if you're in that right place at the right time and you're just active, there's a really good chance that you're going to get some sort of result. But if you don't quickly become as a person to the level of the income that you're earning, I promise you the income that you're earning will come back down to the level of person that you are. Just give it time. So for me, that was really bad news because I was a minimum wage person. And when I got that third month's check, it was like looking at myself in the mirror. When I got that third month's check, I quit for a minute. Anybody ever quit for a minute? Those of you who are watching brand new, taking a look at this, if you haven't quit yet, you probably will at some point. But just do it for a minute. Don't do it forever. I quit. I was just like, this is dumb. And all of my blame stuff came out. Not my fault. Stupid company. Don't provide any training. If they provided some training, I'd have more success. They don't provide any training. Can't give a guy a chance. Product. Say it sells itself. It's right here. Hasn't sold itself at all. I bought it. It's sitting there. Stupid downline won't do anything. They just sit there like a bunch of dead fish looking at me. Right? My upline won't help me. If I had a college degree, I'd do better. If I lived in another state where they had good people, I'd do better. Right? So my whole blame list came out. And what was frustrating about that for me is my blame list wasn't helping me anymore. When I was in school, I could blame everybody and somebody would listen. My parents would listen, the teacher would listen. The dog ate the homework. Blame the dog. Okay. You'd get a little reprieve. You could do the retest. You could do something. But here, nobody cared anymore. I was in the real life. Nobody cared about my excuses. So I had to grow up because here's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And I don't know if it's going to happen to you at home. I don't know the situation that you're in. The greatest thing that ever happened to me is I had nowhere else to go. You want to know the secret to my success in network marketing? I had nowhere else to go. To be able to make money now, to be able to create some income now, to be able to take care of my family now. Where was I going to go? I couldn't go back to real estate. It takes 90 days to get something going in order to be able to get a check. I couldn't do that right away this month. I need to take care of the family this month. Who's going to hire me? And I think God was looking out for me, and I think God was looking out for you. The fact that you're here, the fact that you were introduced, however you were introduced. You might say, well, I needed a better upline. We'll talk more about that, but it might be the greatest gift of your life not to have one. To have an upline that does almost nothing for you might be the greatest gift you'll ever get in your life. We'll find out. We'll talk about it. But for me, I believe God was looking out for me. And because if the devil would have shown up in a suit, knocked on my door, and said, I got a job for you. You work for me rest of your life. Just don't even worry about what you're going to do. You don't need any training. I'll take care of you. $50,000 a year, I'll pay you that for the rest of your life. You never get a raise. You never get fired. And you get good health benefits. 401k. I'd have taken that deal. I'd have walked away from my future. I'd have walked away from entrepreneurship. I would have walked away from the pain and the blame and all that stuff. I'd have taken that deal. But God kept the devil away from my door, knocking on my door, in order to be able to offer that to me, that distraction to me, that was not in my best interests. So, I went back to work. And for some of you, the biggest challenge you're going to have in building your network marketing business is you have too many other options. If you walk into a room and there's doors all the way around the room, you could do all kinds of stuff. When the going gets tough, you can go back and do what you were trained to do in school. When the going gets tough, you can go over back to that business that you know that you learned 15 years ago, and you could just repeat that behavior for the rest of your life. You can rationalize it. You can justify it. You can listen to those people who've been whispering in your ear and saying, hey, just come on back to reality. You can go back to reality. You can do that if you want. Go ahead. You can do that because you had all those doors open. You're educated. You're smart people. You've got skills. You've got talents. I didn't have it. That's why this was the only place for me to go. The only place I could go to be able to make money right now, the next day, was in network marketing. I was mad at network marketing. So I adopted a one day at a time philosophy. Just, kind of like an alcoholic, one day at a time. And here's my one day at a time philosophy. Today, I'm going to suit up. I'm going to shine up. I'm going to show up. I'm going to put my best energy on. I'm going to listen to the right music. I'm going to get myself in the right state. I'm going to talk to as many people as possible. Just for today, I'm not promising tomorrow, but today I'm going to work my ass off. Today, I'm going to tell the story. Today, I'm going to face my fear. Today, I'm just going to be my best self just for today. And I'd finish that day, I'd go home, I'd be exhausted, and I'd have to re-engage the next day to be able to do it. And that's what I did, one day at a time. And the playbook that I learned to be able to have success, ultimately have success in network marketing, and teach other people how to do the same thing, I'm going to give you that playbook in this course. I'm going to give you that playbook, step by step by step by step, exactly how to be able to go out and achieve success on your terms, whatever that success means to you. Success to you might be paying off your credit cards and you're cool. Success to you might be putting your kids through school or taking care of retiring a parent or doing whatever it is you want to do, giving to the causes important to you. That's cool. Success to you might be owning your own airplane and having a mansion on the hill. Success to you can mean all different kinds of things, whatever it is for you. But everything huge, everything massive, every empire starts small. So no matter where you are today, doesn't matter. Whether you're brand new, you've been around for a little bit, you're restarting your business, like, okay, I'm going to, you've been beating yourself up, saying, what's wrong with me? What's the matter with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You might have some fear. You might have some doubt. We'll deal with that. I'll give you some tools for that. You might not have a good plan. I'll give you some tools for that. You might not have a good strategy. I'll give you some tools for that. But just know, I'm your friend in this process, okay? And even if those of you that are in this arena that have already gotten started, I want you to get a fresh mind again. You want to go to the next level? Guess what it's going to take? A fresh mind again. Get your brain back to where it was when you started. Take the too cool clothes off. I've been there, done that, clothes off. And put the fresh rookie clothes on again and let's go. Okay? So what happened to me, it didn't take long. By the time I was 30 years old, I was $1 million a year earner. By the time I was 30 years old, started at 22. Took some time. But I believe an event like this and a course like this can be a time machine. That's my purpose. The purpose is for this to be a time machine for you. Instead of taking the 3 years it took me to finally get things moving, I rebuilt my team, my organization 7 times in my first 3 years. 7 times. Build it up, it would fall apart. Build it up again, it'd fall apart again. Build it up a third time, it'd fall apart again. I tried every strategy, every tactic. I was looking for the magic distributor. I was looking for all this stuff. 7 times. How many times have you rebuilt yours? If it's less than 7, you're either ahead of me or behind me. We'll decide. We'll find out. I would save you that pain. Are people going to come and go? Yes. But I would save you the pain of 3 years. Why take 3 years to get to a point where you can really get acceleration when we can do it in this course? We can do it. This saves you time. That's time that you can do other things. This can be a time machine for you. So in this opening session, what I hope to do is get in your head, get in your heart, and let you know you've got enough, we're equipped enough, and now we're going to give you a roadmap in order to be able to do it.